Hi everyone, now back to the video session. We have the next topic as predicate logic. So before we enter into this predicate logic, we must know what's the difference between the previous session propositional calculus with that of this predicate calculus. So in the propositional calculus as a whole, on a random manner, we will be fixing up the truth value for the given statement. That statement, either it may be a compound statement or it may be an atomic statement. So whereas what is all about this predicate logic, or we also call it to be as a first order logic. So what's the difference between that? So that I've told you now, and now I'll tell you what's the importance of this predicate logic or first order logic. So in predicate logic, we will be exactly mentioning about the facts and the realistic manner what is happening in the real world in day-to-day life. So that can be exactly predicated using this predicate logic. So now what is about predicate? So what's the meaning, literal meaning of the term predicate? So I hope those are very well versed with the grammar part, you will be able to give the definition or the literal meaning of the word predicate. So predicate, it is the action performed by a subject or an object. So predicate is the action performed by a subject or an object. So in school days we might have studied what is a subject or what is an object, and also I'll just recall a game which we might have played in school days, like name, place, animal, thing. So name, place, animal, thing, it all represents the subject or an object, right? So whatever statement is given to you, we'll have to identify what is the subject in that statement and what is the predicate in that statement. So in order to identify the subject, as I've told earlier, it represents name, place, animal, thing. And what is about this predicate? So predicate means it is the action performed by the subject or an object. So now we have seen the meaning of predicate. Next comes logic. So logic, again I'll tell you here, it is the method of reasoning, or we'll be inferring what is the truth value of the given statement. So now let us see here. Predicate logic. So predicate logic, it is an expressive language which have well-defined syntax and logic, right? So it is an expressive language which have well-defined syntax and logic. And the next point is that it represents fact in more realistic manner rather than just true or false statement. So that is what I have explained already here. So in the propositional calculus, we would have just found out what's the truth value of a given statement. So that statement will have either the truth value as t or it will have the truth value as false. But with that, we will not be able to predicate what is exactly happening in this real world. So for that, we have this predicate logic. That is what it says. It represents fact in more realistic manner rather than just true or false statement. So with this, we can also say that beyond the propositional calculus or propositional logic, we have a better thing called as predicate logic. So first we'll see what is all about this predicate logic, and then we'll discuss about the various natures of the predicate logic, or we also call it to be as a first order logic. And the third point of this predicate logic, what it says is that it uses three things to represent the world model. That is, first point, either object or subject will be definitely there. Second is the relation, and third is the function. So using these three things, we can find out the predicate term of the given function. So now I'll again repeat what is all meant by predicate logic. It is an expressive language. So predicate logic means we can express it in a very simplistic manner and an exact manner what is happening in the real world. And now it will also have a well-defined syntax and also the logic. So the syntax means, since because you are all computer science background, definitely you know what is a syntax. And with the syntax and the logic, this predicate logic will be very expressive language which we can find out what is actually happening in the real world. And the second point, what it says is that it represents fact in more real, that is what I meant here. So it represents in a more realistic manner rather than just true or false statement. Third point, so three things will be used in the predicate logic. So the first point is that we'll be having the subject or an object, and the second point we'll have a relation, and the third point we'll have a function. So first and foremost thing, this is all about like predicate logic, and after knowing what is a predicate logic, we should know the properties of the predicate logic, or it will be also called as the first order logic. So what are all the properties? That is what I have already mentioned, that predicate means it is the action performed by a subject or an object, right? So now look at the point here. Properties of the first order logic, it says that ability to represent facts about the objects. So it will represent the facts about the objects. And next point is that it also enables us to represent law and facts from real world. So these are the two main properties of the first order logic. So whatever statement is given to us, we will be in a better manner if we make use of this predicate logic. So this is all what about the predicate logic and the properties of this. And now after understanding what is predicate logic, we will have the types or the nature of the predicate logic or predicate. So we have one place predicate, two place predicate, three place predicate, and so on. So as far as our syllabus is considered or our content is considered, we will see only the first place predicate and the two place predicate terms. So now first place predicate or one place predicate. So one place predicate means we will have only one subject with the predicate term. Whereas two place predicate means we'll have a predicate connected to either the two object or the two subject. So that is what the difference between one place predicate and two place predicate. I repeat it, so everybody you must be having a clear idea. Whenever I repeat the statement, you can just press the pause button and you can rewind it, think over it, right? So first, one place predicate means we will be having only one predicate and one subject or object. Two place predicate means we will be having a predicate in between the two subjects or in between the two objects. So that's the difference between the one place predicate and the two place predicate. As soon as a statement is given to us, we should be in a position to identify whether it is a one place predicate or two place predicate or three place and so on. Right. So now here look at this, one place predicate. So one place predicate means we have only one subject or object with the predicate. So I can say, for example, Zahir is a bowler. Zahir is a bowler. So now first thing, if a statement is given this way, one has to find out what is the subject here and what is the predicate, and how do we express this given statement in a symbolic form, right? So now in this statement, like Zahir is a bowler, I have said that you will have to identify the subject as well as you will have to identify the predicate term. And also for identifying the subject, I have said that we would have played a game in our school days like subject, name, place, animal, thing. So these are all called as subject or object. And also I have said that predicate means it is the action performed by the subject or an object. Now first we will try to identify what is the subject or an object in this case. Zahir is a bowler. So Zahir, it is the name of a person. So we have this to be as a subject. So this is the subject. Is a bowler. So what is the action performed by the subject or an object? So the action performed by the subject is he is a bowler. So the action performed will be the predicate term. The action performed by the subject is the predicate term. Now, how to express this one place predicate? This is called as one place predicate. Like say for example, you have only one predicate with along with the subject, only one thing. So now how to express this one place predicate symbolically? So if we want to represent this in a symbolic nature or symbolic form, we'll have to first write down the predicate and then within the parenthesis the subject, and that can be a short form, right? So now the predicate is what here? Bowler. So instead of bowler, I can have capital B. So always represent the predicate term by a capital letter, and here capital B stands for bowler, right? So within the parenthesis we can have the subject, and what's the subject here? Subject here is Zahir. So instead of Zahir I can have Z. So B of Z is the symbolic representation of this one place predicate. Again I'll repeat here. So after understanding what is meant by predicate, we have various natures of predicate: one place predicate, two place predicate, three place predicate, and so on. So one place predicate means in a given statement we will have only one subject and a predicate term. Whereas in case of a two place predicate, a predicate will be connected with the two objects. Whereas in case of a three place predicate, a predicate will be connected with the three subjects or three objects. So that is how one has to make a difference between the various natures of the predicate terms. Now as an example I have given that Zahir is a bowler. So in this example, Zahir is a bowler. First one has to find that what is the subject and what is the predicate term. So subject is what? It is only the name, place, animal, thing here. So subject or an object. So that is the name of a person. So the name of the person here is subject. And what is the action performed by this Zahir? The action performed by the Zahir is bowler. So therefore this bowler represents the predicate. Okay, fine. Now that we have understood how to identify the subject and the predicate from the given statement, and then we will have to represent that in a symbolic manner. So in a symbolic manner, how do we represent it? So bowler, the predicate term first should be written always first. That is the formula for it. So now bowler, it is the predicate term. So I will represent that by a capital letter. So B stands for bowler and Z stands for Zahir. Right. So now B means it is predicate and that is bowler. So B of Z. So always within the parenthesis we should have the subject. So the subject here is Zahir. So B of Z. So that is one place predicate. So right, understood now. I'll also give you one more example for this. So for this, Rani sings. Rani sings. So now here in this I have to find out what is the subject and what is the predicate term. So first, Rani sings. So in this first I will have to find out what is the subject. So subject, we all know that it is only the name here. So this is the subject, and what is the action performed by Rani? She sings. So this is the predicate term. So capital S, I represent it to be as sing. Then my subject R represents, or small letter I can have R represent Rani here. So how do I represent this in a symbolic manner? So my predicate term is sing, that is S, of Rani is represented as R. So now this is how one has to represent the symbolic form of a given one place predicate. Understood now? Yes. So after understanding what is all about one place predicate, next we will move on to two place predicate term. So two place predicate term, here we have an example. Sita likes Ram. So Sita likes Ram means I will have to first decide whether this is one place predicate or two place predicate. So here first thing I will have to identify the predicate term and then the subject term, or vice versa also I can do it. So what our identification of the subject will be easier for us, right? So subject here is what? Name, that is Sita Ram. So the subject here is Sita and Ram. And what is the action performed by the subject? Sita likes Ram. So therefore, I can represent this in a symbolic manner as L of Sita likes Ram, S, R. So this is how we will be representing the two-place predicate, right? So here first thing I should have to write my predicate term. Predicate here is likes, right? Predicate here is likes. Now within the bracket, since because I have got two subjects, it is S, R. S represents Sita, R represents Ram. Now read the statement now. Sita likes Ram. Likewise here also you read Zahir is a bowler. Here you read Rani sings. So this is how we'll have to read the statement. Understood now? Sita likes Ram means it is a two-place predicate. That is, in between the two subjects we have a predicate. So that is why it is called as a two-place predicate term. So now the symbolic form of this statement Sita likes Ram is, so first we'll have to see what is the predicate term. Predicate term is likes. So that I'll represent it to be as capital L. Of within the parenthesis we have to write only the subject or the object. So that is Sita and this is Ram. So which means that exactly you will have to write. So L of S, R says that Sita likes Ram. Suppose in case if I write it as RS, it means that it will be Ram likes Sita. But the statement given here is excuse me. But the given statement here says that Sita likes Ram. So this is only way we will have to express. And now the next general statement I have, X likes Y. So X likes Y, X and Y are two objects here, alright. So like is a predicate term. So it will be L of X, Y. So like is a predicate term, X, Y, I have it as an object. So this is how we will be expressing given two-place predicate in terms of a symbolic form.